For a long time, these undulating hills and valleys have been a site of natural beauty, characterized by thick forests and strings of water streams draining into Lake Victoria. While such water sources and forests have kept the land fertile and viable for agriculture, changing seasons are setting to threaten the status quo. Long dry seasons are now common, and they are taking their toll on not only the water sources but also soils. As the sun shines for days, weeks and months without rains like was the case in the past, the soils are quickly losing their capacity to sustain crop life, and as such, many crops are either drying up in the garden or doing poorly due to water stress. Over 80% of Mpigi's population directly depend on agriculture, and with unreliable seasons, traditional crops such as beans, sweet potatoes, cassava, bananas, groundnuts are no longer doing well, as so are cash crops like coffee and cotton. This year's March-May planting season came and went, and farmers were not sure whether to plant as the sun was still scorching hot. The recent rains have seen some farmers venture out to plant. The farmers' agony is unmistakable.
The drought has been so long. All the beans we planted have dried up. We got rain in May and hurried to plant. However, the rain stopped suddenly and the sun began again. This phenomenon began a few years ago. We asked for any type of help because we are stuck. We have nowhere else to go.
As crop production takes a nosedive, hundreds of residents here are venting their energies elsewhere for survival. Most of the district gazetted forests are now heavily encroached upon for charcoal and firewood.
Settlements began during the NRM Bush Wars. The lack of law and order in the area favored people to encroach on the reserves. Most reserves were cut down to create room for subsistence agriculture, charcoal, and timber.
Amidst food scarcity, the water question is cutting across as common in many villages here. As long droughts take center stage, the water table is reducing and some boreholes can no longer bring forth water. And some wells are succumbing to evaporation due to rising temperatures.
Water is a problem. Even the tap water provided by the town council has dwindled. We have spent over a week without tap water. The reservoirs have dried up, but we thank God that this spring well has not yet dried up.
In efforts to reverse the seemingly worsening environmental situation, district officials are drumming up a call for tree planting. The rationale is that commercial plantations lasting between 17 to 25 years can help in water retention, thereby mitigating the effects of climate-long droughts.
The district council realized the need for replanting the forests, and the resolution was passed. We created 10 nursery beds in the district where farmers can readily get tree seedlings, especially the commercial species like eucalyptus, pine, at a subsidized price.
Polly Birakwate, who has been Mpigi's forestry officer for many years, identifies Mpigi's troubles to climate change, a global phenomenon that is characterized by long droughts and extreme harsh weather like flash floods and storms. To him, accepting the changes in weather and sensitizing the public on new ways of survival is the way forward. While hope seems to be dwindling in terms of agriculture, there seems to be hope in the business flip side.
There is a provision of people benefiting from carbon credits. However, the land tenure system in Mpigi does not favor this. Very few people own 25 hectares required for one to benefit from this credit scheme. Maybe the size need to be decreased to 15 hectares to enable people benefit.
While Mpigi's residents await explanations on what is making their gardens barren, the causes of climate change, such as Western industrial pollution, is increasing, an indication that more extreme weather is expected not only in Mpigi, but also the rest of the world. This report was compiled by Tiawa Setumba Abubakari for NBS TV.